Wednesday. Our, you know, this is pretty much the last day of our Omer counting. Well, tomorrow's the last day, and we will be having our meditation at 5:30. Then you can join us at 7 o'clock tomorrow night for our Tikkun Leil Shavuot. It's going to be quite remarkable. We have 30 synagogues from Jew at Home. Not all are participating, but we have a lot of participation in it. If you want to join me, we have 7 o'clock as our plenary, 7 to 8. I'm going to be giving a little announcement. And also at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be teaching a class on dual stories in the Torah. If you don't know what that means, maybe you'd be interested. But today, we Yesod Shebe Malchut. Yesod. If you remember from last week, Yesod is bonding. It is foundation in Malchut, which is sovereignty, dignity, nobility. But the sovereignty that I'd like to talk about today is our own personal sovereignty. There are ways that we can think of Malchut when it comes to our own spiritual place. And the sovereignty of our being means that we have enough self-confidence to have sovereignty over our lives. And Yesod Shebe Malchut, bonding within that sovereignty, has to do with having enough confidence in yourself, sovereignty over your being, so that you can allow another to also have their sovereignty and then enter into bonding with them. Did you look and see if we were?
I'm wondering what the word sovereignty means.
Sovereignty means that you're sovereign over something, that you have control over it, that you have power over it. And I think the spiritual direction of that is having power over ourselves, having some control over who we are. And that has to do with kind of how we think of ourselves. If we don't have sovereignty over our lives, then people can run roughshod over us. So the idea of bonding within sovereignty or bonding within nobility is having enough self-worth and sovereignty over ourselves so that we can allow the other to also have sovereignty over themselves. And maybe this evening is about how do we control those people with whom we bond? Do we need to have control over them? What would happen if we allowed the bonding to happen and we took hold of our own sovereignty and allowed that other to have their own sovereignty? Maybe that would allow us to meet the people we bond with in a way that, again, is mutually. Because if I've got the sovereignty over myself and I allow you to have the sovereignty over yourself, then we both can bring our total power into the bonding that happens between us. Because I really think most of our relationships, I shouldn't say most, but I will, are imbalanced. There are some that I think we kind of give in to the sovereignty of the other person, and there's others where we feel sovereign over another person. So that issue of bonding within our nobility, bonding is how do I keep my own identity, understand myself, have my own power, believe in myself, but also give the room for another person to have all of those things as well. I think that's a difficult thing to do because so much of the time we're just in it and we're not thinking about it. So perhaps today is a reflection on our own power of sovereignty over who we are, allowing us to be who we are for now, and reflecting that in our relationships and whether we hold on to ourselves too much and try to control too much, or allow that person across from us to have their own sovereignty, their own being, their own self-confidence. And only by being in a relationship with someone who feels good about themselves can both of you kind of be there for each other and be there with each other and actually have true bonding. So perhaps we can begin. Kind of center ourselves. I'm feeling as if I may have sat down too quickly today, and I need to kind of get the stress and tension out of my body before I can begin. So let's try. That can give us our sovereignty, but also can give us kind of a way to relax into it as well. So let's just begin by breathing regular. We're not trying to solve anything. We're just breathing, taking ourselves in, perhaps checking in with our own personal sovereignty. And please allow things to be as they are for now, just as they are. You are this being that is sitting in whatever chair you're sitting in, and I am just a being sitting in this chair, and we're breathing, because that's the essence of life. Trying to get ourselves in this absolute present. There might be things that are on our minds. There might be things that are taking up time and taking us out of our sovereignty. So perhaps it's time to put it back in, to find it. I didn't like my bells yesterday. I thought they were a little timid. As we start today, let's make sure that our bodies are there. Do a little scan as we begin. Let's just begin concentrating on our stomach and the breath there. How we expand with each breath, and we contract with each breath. And a cycle that continues back and forth and back and forth. To quote my wife's play.
Second time today.
And let's just kind of bring an awareness to our bodies. See if you can feel, just become aware of the top of your head. Almost like you've cracked an egg on it. And it slowly starts to move down your body. Take into consideration your face. Is there tension there? Just let your face relax with one breath. And as we move down, allow each breath to take out tension. Let's concentrate on our necks. We relax our shoulders. And we move south towards our chest. Just allow it to relax as you breathe. Perhaps our arms feeling tense. As we let the breath out, just let everything just be in its place. We move to our lower torso and our stomach. And just relax your stomach. We move down to our hips, our buttocks. And as we breathe in and breathe out, let the tension just slide through that area of your body. And think about your thighs. And just release the tension with your breath. And your knees, check in to see what sensations you feel there. And relax it with a breath. Move to your calves. Allow your calves just to relax. And bring yourself to your feet and feel your feet on the floor. And let's just spend 1 or 2 breaths just feeling the sensations in our body. Is it just sinking into your chair? Are you fighting against it? You feel a tension in a particular place. Let's just take 1 breath to relax our entire body. Breathe it in and relax. And on each breath you take right now, let's just relax our whole body. And now let's bring ourselves into our breath from the very center of your body. The air comes in. Filling you up. And just let it out. And just as you're in the chair, just allow things to be as... There's no need to push anything. There's no need to solve anything. There's no need to fix anything right now. All that we have to do is simply breathe. And the moment your thoughts take you away, just notice those thoughts. That's the place where your mind keeps wanting to go. But for now, we're finding stillness. We're finding a calm. We're finding the peace in your body and the breath that keeps you alive.
Just a little reminder that it's very, very common for our minds to take us away from our breath, those things that are most on our minds, the issues we deal with, the anxieties we have, the pain we feel. For now, with love and kindness, bring yourself back to your breath, to the now, to the present. invite us now to move to a second section of feelings. Today is Wednesday, which is the middle of the three precepts for us to feel. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous and loved. Luminous is to shine from inside, a little lighter, to glow, to be bright. But it also could be to be like a bell tower that shines for others, or a lighthouse that shines for others. And may I feel loved. In some ways, when we think of sovereignty, perhaps the love we're talking about is a love of yourself, love of myself. To find a place of love and the feeling of love from others to us, feeling of worth, of sovereignty, of nobility and dignity. May I feel Let's try that for several breaths. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. I invite you, if you'd like to, bring a friend or a family member or even an acquaintance or someone you have a lot of difficulty with. I wouldn't bring all of those people here, but one of them. You can place them right in front of you. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved. Let us go for some breaths on that, to this person in front of you. And then even as that person is in front of you, ask it of yourselves as well. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. There's nothing to stop these feelings. We're putting them out there in the universe and accepting them inside of us. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. Try a couple of breaths there. as our meditation comes to a close, let us just breathe, not asking for anything except being in this moment, being still and allowing things to be just as they are for now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a restful and peaceful meditation. May you feel luminous, and may you feel loved. May you have a